Today we're making pressed sandwiches, which I think of as fast food, because once you get them made and you get them pressed, you can go anywhere with them, and that's what I'm always looking for when I'm on the go, whether it's myself or my kids or whatever's going on. I love to have stuff like this on the go. So I'm starting with grilling vegetables, and this is a red pepper. You see I have it right in the flame, and I get it super, super charred. If you don't have a gas flame, you can just cut it in half and put it on a pan, put it in the broiler until it's blackened, but no matter what you do, you have to get it into a bag like this. I know it seems weird to put in a plastic bag, but it works. And close it for about 15 minutes, and then that skin is going to just come right off. So for the rest of the veg, I have summer squash here. I've already cut a zucchini and an eggplant. Whatever vegetables you like, you can use. I think these work beautifully for this. Now, you've probably had grilled vegetables, whether you make them yourself or not. And the mistake people make with grilled vegetables is they don't cook them enough so that they're soft on the inside. And that's the key. And I'm always saying, if you're looking for ways to get vegetables into your kids' diet, this would be the way to do it. Because on the sandwich, you're not only going to have vegetables, you're going to have cheese, and you're going to have pesto, basil pesto, which is so delicious. Everybody loves basil. So you want olive oil, you want a good amount of salt, and a good amount of pepper. I'm just going to place them. You can hear the sizzle as it goes on. Just get them all on and leave them here long enough for them to cook on the inside. The way I like it is I like them sort of grilled, a little brown on the outside, and almost soft and creamy on the inside. I'm going to show you my grandmother's pesto recipe. I have 2 cups of fresh basil. Half a cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm just going to eyeball that because that doesn't really have to be too perfect, but it's important for pesto. And then pine nuts. 1/3 of a cup of pine nuts. I've toasted mine first until they're a little bit golden. Not everybody does that. I just think it just brings out the most delicious flavor in the pine nuts. When you have lots of basil, or even if you buy big bunches from the store, you know you can make this and you can freeze it, and then you pull it out in the middle of the winter, and it's like you have a little bit of summer for 1 little minute on a cold, cold day. And then I have 2 cloves of garlic. I've just, already chopped it a little bit to get it started. All right, a little bit of salt and pepper, some black pepper, and I'm definitely going to need some olive oil too, but first I'm going to just get this pulsed, just to get it started. And then olive oil. So I want about 1/2 of a cup of olive oil, and you want to measure this because too much is going to make it too liquidy, and too little is going to make it kind of a thick paste that is sort of hard to work with. So what you want to do here is get it going. You want it to be going, and then you want to slowly drizzle this in, which I'm going to do through the top. And hopefully it'll come together as planned. Oh yeah. Oh, the color's beautiful. I gotta taste it though. So good. If you keep this in your refrigerator, put it in a jar and then float a little bit of olive oil on top of it. That way it won't turn brown. I'm hollowing out my bread here to make a boat to fill it with as many delicious, healthy ingredients as I can, because I'm making the sandwiches that I can take with me. First of all of this right here, these breadcrumbs, I'm not throwing them away, I'm saving them. I'm gonna make breadcrumbs because I have a lot of recipes that I use breadcrumbs in. I already roasted the red pepper, and it's been in a plastic bag. When it was hot, it went in there, and that way the skin blisters and you can just pull it right off. I mean, look at that. That is unbelievable. And I love roast peppers. Sometimes I'll do maybe 5, 10 peppers like this and just serve it with crusty bread as an appetizer, or maybe make a pasta dish with it. In this case, I just want to get the skin off the best I can. Then I just dig my fingers in there, get the core out, which has the seeds, and leave that behind. And if I have a few seeds, that doesn't matter. Get that out. And this is so soft that I can just peel it and put it right down here with everything else. And actually the little black pieces that are left create a really delicious roasty flavor. I have all the grilled vegetables all prepped here and ready to go. Here's the assembly line situation. I have olive oil, which I'm going to quickly just brush on everything. It just will help in the end to make the crust a little bit soft, because we are going to press these sandwiches. You might think, ooh, that hard crust, isn't that going to be too much? Well, by the time we're finished and we have all the juice from the delicious vegetables, we have the beautiful pesto that we made. We made a homemade pesto, which I really encourage you to try. If you have a garden full of vegetables, it's absolutely the easiest thing in the world to grow fresh herbs and to be able to make pesto. I'll put all of these eggplants nestled next to each other, and you can see how beautifully cooked they are. And that's key with roast vegetables. I keep saying it, whether it's roasted or it's grilled, you need to make sure that they're cooked enough for them to be yummy. Squash and zucchini, this I'm putting lengthwise. And again, you can mix up your vegetables here, whichever makes you happy. I've tested this though, and these are really, really good together. I think that's enough. I'll save that for another sandwich. And then on goes the peppers. Those little bits of roasted skin. And you can see it's getting a little high, but I'm not at all worried because I have this hollow part right here. Also, put mozzarella cheese. I've cut 1 pound, and I'm just gonna split it. And we're getting to the end of the sandwich here. The pesto is really nicely flavored with salt and garlic and pine nuts. All right, the top goes on, just like this. The top goes on here. Let's move these over, press this down a bit. Now I'm going to show you the pressing part. I read a famous food writer named MFK Fisher. She was writing how one time she had somebody over to eat lunch, and she made a pressed sandwich like this. And she wrapped it up, and then she covered it up, and then she asked him to sit on it so that it would be perfect by the time they ate lunch, which is kind of funny. Now here comes the pressing part. You want to put it on something flat, and then put another pan on top or something flat on top. And then I take this big, heavy cast iron skillet and a can of tomatoes and put it on and press it down. And by the time we're finished, it's going to be narrow, really, really narrow, and we're going to slice it thin. And nothing could be easier than that when you're on the go and you need to have a quick sandwich. So I'm just going to wrap the other one, get it in here, get it pressed, and we'll be that much closer to being able to eat our sandwiches.